Knives are cool! And axes too! Hello everybody, my name is Robert Breaker. Some of you may know me, some of you may not. I have a YouTube channel called Robert Breaker, and I'm a preacher, and every week I put a new sermon in English and Spanish. And while I was preaching, I kind of said once or twice, I'm a knife guy, I like knives. And you know what? Some of my viewers sent me some knives. So I said, okay, cool. I started getting into these channels on YouTube with all the knives, and I said, yeah, I can do that. I've got a nice little collection. I've got different things I'd like to show people. So I figured, you know what? Knives are cool, and axes too. What do I name this channel? And then I was like, that's a good name. I'll just name this channel Knives Are Cool and Axes Too. So I'm Robert Breaker, and I'm from Florida. This is the flag of Florida here. And I'm gonna be bringing you some videos here from time to time where we're looking at different knives and kind of give you a little bit of my background, my history, where I come from, and a little bit about knives. Today I'm going to talk about, I guess, the first pocket knife I ever got, where it came from and how I got it. Now, in order to tell that story, I kind of have to give you a little bit of my background. I was raised in Florida, but for some reason Dad and Mom always got off in the summer completely, like 3 months. They didn't have to work. I still scratching my head as a kid. How could you take off 3 months every year? But we would leave Florida, we'd go visit my mom's parents in Oklahoma, and then we would go to Wyoming and visit my dad's parents there. So I really feel blessed in my life to have been a beach bum here in Florida, a water boy, surfing, fishing, sailing, all this. Also in Oklahoma, I got to know my mom's side of the family, farmers, and I got to enjoy the Great Plains and what it was like to be in that type of an environment. But then up on Casper Mountain in Wyoming, I got the blessing of just being able to go out of our back porch and just walk up the mountain and hike all the time and see moose and elk and antelope and deer. And so I really feel like I've been blessed in my life. And I always seem to have a knife. I remember my first knife that I got, one of those really awful little survival knives, you know, that are like 10 bucks with all the stuff in the handle. I might still have that. I might do a video on that one day. But I thought today what I'd do a video about is when I was about 9 or 10, I can't remember exactly. I remember my grandfather died when I was 14, back in 1986. So it would have been about 9 or 10 years old. My grandfather, his name was Jasper. We always called him Pappy, Old Pappy. Old Pappy gave me a knife. He gave me his pocket knife, and he said, son, every man and every boy should have a pocket knife at all times on their person. You never know when you need to use it for something. So let me stand up here and let me show you. I've got the knife on me right now. It's right here. And you probably know this knife. You go to Walmart, you go to a hardware store, you go to anywhere, you'll see this knife right here. It's the Old Timer, and I'll put it down here. And the Old Timer knife, it's just a simple little pocket knife, but it's a pretty good size. It's a good size. There's my hand. So it's not a small knife. Let me zoom in. Can you see it okay? My daughter's recording today. And this was well, actually, I'll be honest, I lost it over the years. I was a missionary in Honduras for 7 years. Some of the things that I had left here in America, when I came back, well, my dad, God bless him, had gotten rid of. So this isn't the real one that my grandfather gave me, but it is exactly like it. And I found this at a garage sale, and I bought it. And it's just a typical old Schrade USA. And I would put it in like this, but you don't ever do that with a folding pocket knife. It could fold in and fold on your finger, and that's not very smart. So when I get some of these knives out here that are locking or that are fixed blade, I'll stick them into the thing. But this is a pocket knife that I carried from age probably 9 or 10 till I was about, well, close to 18 years old. I remember I'd carry this in my pocket in high school for 4 years in high school. I try and do that in America. But it's got 3 blades, and the first blade is the long, sharp cutting blade. And also with a pocket knife, you probably know this, but you never open all the blades at once. That can damage it. So open one blade, then close it, then open another blade. It's got a shorter little blade with kind of a stubby little point here. And then it's got this really awful kind of a flat nose, very sharp. This one's one of the sharpest blades. Now you can open them a little part way if you want, like that, but don't ever fully extend all the blades open at one time. And that's what it looks like. Not much to look at, except that when you like knives, sometimes we like knives because, I'll be honest, it's a personal thing. It's, oh, this is my childhood, or this is what I grew up on, or this is something that is special to me because my grandfather gave it to me. So this is the little old timer. Do you know they still make them? I went to the hardware store the other day and they had one for sale. Is this zooming in enough so you can see it? And so I just for funsies bought this. I don't think it was more than $10. And I said, I wonder how this one compares to one of the older original ones. I'm 40 something now years old, so you can imagine that the old timer I had is like 30 something years old. They still make them, and it does not quite look like the same pocket knife. Let me cut this open here and use the knife for a reason here. And let's look and see what the new modern old timer, because I guess you can officially call me an old timer since I'm past 40. And what a difference, what a difference. The body style is different. Oh, actually this is a locking blade. So this closes with the locking blade. So that locks, so I can go like that. And it doesn't have the other blade, so it's actually a different knife, a completely different knife, huh? But they have old timer on it. And that's my first carry knife, if you will, my pocket knife. Now, I'll probably do a video on this one later, but I did want to show it. For the last probably probably about 7 or 8 years, this has been my carry knife. It's a Gerber, and it is a push the button, flip it open, and it locks. And that's my Gerber. I don't want to tell you too much about that today because I want to do a video on that. I actually got my first one of these, exact same knife, $40 at a garage sale. Now we live here in Florida, and you know, parts of Florida are very rich, other parts are very, very poor. And I went to a garage sale, and I guess it was the more rich part of town, and the guy had this knife. It's probably a $150 knife, and he said, I'll sell it to you for 40 bucks. I said, why? He says, it's got rust on it. I'm gonna go buy me a new one. So I'm like, I can live with rust. So I bought it for 40 bucks, and then I actually gave that one away to a friend. I have a problem. I get a knife and I find another one. I don't like to leave that one. I give it away. I've given away a lot of knives over the years because I felt like my grandpa taught me about knives. Maybe I can teach others about knives as well. But I went ahead and found another one of these Gerbers at a show. So Schrade is an interesting company. These are their new old timers, and it's just a single blade, but it does lock, and you have your little thumb push here. And there's your old timer there. But this one is an exact replica of the one that I had as a kid. And boy, I don't have fingernails all the time now, so sometimes it's hard to get your little fingernail in there. But there's the Schrade that I had as a child. And then this is my modern carry knife. Now I don't want to go too long here in this my first video, but I wanted to let you know and kind of get an idea of what this channel is going to be about. I'm going to show you knives. I'm going to give some reviews on knives, and I may or may not use the knives. Some of my knives are collector's knives, and I don't want to get them messed up. But other ones we might start a fire with, or we might do something cool with. So I hope this has been fun for you. It's fun for me. Knives are cool. And axes too. I can't wait to get some hatchets and some axes and things like that. I think the chickens are having fun. Check them out. Chickens over there like knives too, I guess. Coming on over. So if you get a chance, subscribe to my channel. And I've got a problem. I guess the first step to admitting your problem is admitting your problem. I like knives, and I guess I like them too much because I have too many. So I guess what I'll do is I'll just little by little make some videos and show you these knives. Maybe you're considering buying a knife. Well, maybe that's what this is for, a little review. This is a nice little pocket knife, but it's only a one blade. And a lot of times I've switched to this type of a carry knife because it's a one-hander. This knife here, you got to use two hands. This one is a one-hander and one hand back. And this is my carry knife. So I hope this is a blessing to you. Again, I'm Robert Breaker. And if you want to hear some good preaching and teaching of the Bible, go to thecloudchurch.org. And my channel on YouTube is Robert Breaker Channel. And I'm actually bilingual. I do English and Spanish every week, a new sermon. And I hope that's a blessing to you. I hope you come. I hope you watch it. And I hope you get to subscribe to this channel. And I hope you enjoy it. Because if you like knives like I like knives, then hopefully, we can do some videos together. If you ever want to send me a knife to review or to look at, please do so. Now, I won't send it back. But if you want to send it and it's a knife that you want reviewed or you want me to talk about, then I'll have my address. Actually, my address is on my website, thecloudchurch.org. And send me a knife and I'll do a video about it, or an axe, or any kind of a blade, if you will. All right, well, appreciate you watching. This is our first video, and we'll be doing a lot more, because I like knives. And knives are just cool. And axes too. Let's look at these. Come on over. Old timer. Someone sharpened this one. But there you got your three blades. Just a typical little pocket knife, but it was my first pocket knife. And I just enjoyed so much my grandfather and him teaching me and him giving it to me. And here's the newer one. I don't know if they still make this model, but this new here is a model 1113577, whatever that means. Locking, and like that. Every man should have a pocket knife, according to my grandpa. Do you have one? Why not?